Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 15 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Piper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle at the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 in the toe, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh!
Toward Bryant. You will Clemens through to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following me on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Man, you can also tweet this show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, if you have a question or comment on that platform, it'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let us check out the chat already. Black Diamond in the house coming in with this craziness. He goes, top of the morning. You know what it is, Steve-O. Cue our song. No, don't cue that damn song. Coming in with your craziness already, bro. What's all that about? Cornelius Cole says, what up, ShawnSierraSports fans?
White Sox. White Sox. Go,
there you go. That's the song, Steve-O.
Let's go,
White Sox. You know, we're going to have a production meeting after the show. We got to go to HR with this. Cornelius, you stop your nonsense too. He's like, fly the W. Stop it. Levette Lee checking in. She's with the nonsense too. She's like, morning, y'all. Go Cubs, go. Stop that. Michelle Walls in the house. He's like, what up? What's up on a hump day? The summertime is here. Yes, it is, doctor. Yes, it is. Summertime. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Rick Gonzalez is in the house. Say good morning, Shawn, to the chat. FGB. Dude, FGB, baby. And for the Sox fans, let's find an H. Hopeless. Nah, bro, they're not hopeless. They're just young. They're young and they're going through growing pains, man. That's it. They don't have anyone super talented. There's no superstars in there. They got a lot of young, and I was talking to Steve about this morning. I don't think they have any superstars. They got a lot of like good soldiers, a lot of role players, and that's fine. But you get those role players up to snuff, get him seasoned, and then you go draft or trade for a superstar. I think, and after the 27 season, before the 27 season, after the 26 season, after next season, and before the 27 season, you make a big trade. You bring someone here, because at that point, these guys, the Chase Mydroffs, the Miguel Vargas, Edgar Caro, Kyle Teal, maybe Luba will still be here. I'm not sure. All right, those guys will have had a year and a half, almost 2 years of playing together, okay, with this manager who I really like. Okay, now you go bring in that superstar. Okay, now you go make that big trade and start trying to compete for the division. After between the 26 and 27 season, or at the end of the 26 season, if you want to pick up, trade for a superstar who's on the last year of his deal that you can extend, cool. But it's not hopeless. It's just frustrating right now, bro. That's all it is. It's frustrating as all hell. Rick Gonzalez, my ears are bleeding. I know. Steve-O plays that silly song. Well, you can still pull for them, Rick. They're not superstars. They're not stars, though. And they have a chance to be, though. Miguel Vargas has a chance to be a star. Lou Bob is a star. Chase Mydroff could be one of those guys that you just enjoy having around, that you enjoy him on the team because he does it all. He does all the grunt work. You got a lot of guys. You got the nice little pitching staff: Shane Smith, Mike Vassell. Oh, it's something crazy. So I don't know. Zero stars, no. I think you got some stars. Definitely Lou Bob. But I think you have a Miguel Vargas in the making. And we'll see who else. Maybe a Kyle Teal, their catcher. But right now, I would just say Lou Bob. And here's the thing. Let's watch them grow. Let's watch them grow. They can grow into being something more than we think they can be. All right, with the culture and the parameters that this manager has set for this team, it's pretty good. So it'll probably be, with this core, it'll be a team that doesn't beat themselves. Okay? Not the most talented team in Major League Baseball, not by any stretch. But they're a team that won't beat themselves. So if you're going to win, you're going to have to beat them. You can't let them get extra outs, extend innings, because the White Sox will do that. You can't play crappy defense. Like I said, extend innings, because then they'll make you pay. If they're doing a good job of it now, just yesterday was a rough one. It was a rough one. Black Diamond says, bear down. And yes, Levette, it does. What did Levette say? Said the W's flying. No one cares. You're right. We don't play top dollar for players. Trading are our best options to get a star. Yeah, I agree. Or if you just held on to Fernando Tatis Jr., that would have been a nice start. Could have done that. That would have been a nice start. Oh, man. Listen, we got a great show for you, man. I'm excited. We got baseball to talk. We got more baseball. Cubs, Sox, both in action yesterday. We have them to talk. We have Chicago Sky. They're in action again. They're in action last night also. We have that to talk. Coach Eberflus back in the news. Just what I said. Just what I said. Okay, they've got to stop playing these games. Stop playing these games. Stop lying. Stop the nonsense. So we got some Bears to talk. And I'm excited about it. So as our old Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, sit back, relax, and strap it down. I am fired up to talk to you guys on this hump day. Had a great workout this weekend. You see, I got the Blues Brothers. I'm on a mission from God today. I'm on a mission from God. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So we had a lot of action. We're going to talk a little about the WNBA. Caitlin Clark. Are you okay with some of the stuff? There's a little situation yesterday. We're gonna take a look at that, and we'll talk about that as well. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We got a great show for you. It's jam-packed. Jam-packed. I don't know if you heard that. Let's get it cracking. Guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
He won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
First top of the morning topic, which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? All right. Listen. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you, Cub fans. Don't ever say that, all right? Here we go. The Cubs. Here you go, baby, the Cubs. Uh-oh. Yeah, Steve-O, we got to change that 5-3. Cubs beat the Brewers 5-3. Yesterday, Ben Brown got the win. He's 4-5 on the season. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 punch-outs. PCA. That kid, you saw the thumbnail. That kid is one of the most exciting players in Major League Baseball today. Hitting his 19th homer of the season, 452 feet off the scoreboard. Very Kyle Schwarber-ish. He drove in his 58th RBI of the season. That was a blast. Suzuki. Hey, Suzuki, right behind him. He was 1 for 4, hitting his 18th homer of the season, driving in his 59th, 60th, and 61st RBIs of the season. Matt Shaw was 1 for 3. With a double, his 9th of the year, driving in his 9th run of the season, and Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's continuing just to do Kyle Tucker shit. 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, his 14th and 15th of the season. Some people, I don't know if I can say Kyle Tucker's having a great year, or he's just having a Kyle Tucker year. I think it'd be more apt to say he's just having a Kyle Tucker year. Kyle Tucker is a stud. He is a freaking stud. And the Cubs are going to have a tough time signing him this offseason because he's going to command $500 million. So I don't know if a guy who has those type of numbers, who continues to put it up, is having a great year. He's just having a normal year for him. A typical Kyle Tucker year, which happens to be head and shoulders above most players in Major League Baseball. So I don't know if year by his standards, but it's awesome it's a great year against other people's standards. It could just be normal Kyle Tucker things. It could be a normal Kyle Tucker year. Man. Well, staying with that, the Cubs, the next top of the morning, the Cubs host the Brewers again today at Wrigley. First pitch is 7:05 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The probables for tonight from Milwaukee, Jacob Mizorowski He's 1-0 with a 0.00 ERA going up against Jameson Taillon, who's 7-3 with a 3.48 ERA. The cool part, and as a baseball fan, as a true sports fan, like, again, I don't really even dislike the Cubs per se. It's just you fans that make me talk all this shit. But PCA, my goodness. You'll see in the highlights in a little bit. Man, this dude is doing it offensively, slamming it off the board, off the scoreboard, in right. Defensively, came flying like a bat out of hell to save to catch a short fly ball. Base stealing. This guy is literally doing it all. One of the most exciting players, and I get it, Cub fans. I'd be touting him too. Can he keep this up? Because if he does, he's in that MVP conversation. He's in that MVP conversation. Cornelius says, I didn't know PCA had that kind of power. He's got good power. Okay? He squares them up. Okay? He's not a big power guy, but the fact is, how can I put this? When you square him up, okay, or what do they call it, when you barrel it, when he catches it down the barrel, which he does majority of the time, it doesn't take much for it to go out. And he's got some explosiveness, but he knows how to barrel it up, use the speed, again, use the pitch speed against the pitcher, and take it out. Keeping it moving. Next topic, on the topic, man, my guys, that was a rough one. Good guys on the south side. Woo, Charlie. That was a rough one yesterday after keeping games close all season. White Sox get blown out by the Cardinals, 12-2. Shane Smith, he got the ugly loss. He's 3-4 in the season. He went 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 3 walks, 2 punch-outs. Edgar Carroll's 2 for 4 with an RBI, his 17th of the season. Vinny Capro's 1 for 2, driving in his 6th RBI of the season. And the aforementioned Miguel Vargas was 1 for 4 with a double, his 19th of the season. Just tough, man. Just tough. Next topic, the White Sox host the Redbirds again tonight at Wright Field. The first pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. The probables for tonight's game, Sonny Gray is on the bump for the Redbirds. He's 7-2 with a 3.84 ERA going up against Sean Burke. He's on the bump for the good guys. He's 3-7 with a 4.71 ERA. You're going to have games like we had yesterday. Rick, we have bragging rights over the Cubs from 05 to 2016, and it's been a nightmare since the Cubs won a World Series. Yes, it has. You ain't lying, Rick. You ain't lying. Cornelius Squall says, I just hope that PCA gets a little more discipline at the plate. Okay. You know, one of the good things, and this is a very, very weird thing. The White Sox young hitters are surprisingly very disciplined at the plate, for the most part. most of the time. They're rookies, so they're gonna swing, but not as much as I thought they would be chasing stuff. I thought they'd chase a lot more. And that's very surprising. Because let me look it up again. I can't remember the gentleman's name. Paul Janis, the director of director of player personnel. Okay. That's director of here. Let me just get this straight. Officers, managers, Major League Operation, Minor League Operation. Director of Player Development in the minor leagues is Paul Janis, like I said. Okay. These youngsters are coming up with a much more disciplined eye. As I said, very uncharacteristic of a lot of people. I think I need to do a Google search on Paul Janis. Is he a player? Because Chris Getz, I still don't know how he got that job. I've said it here ad nauseum. But when you get good people under you, sometimes and many times, and you allow them to do their job, they can mitigate the bullshit that you perpetuate. Jerry Reinsdorf. You got a good guy in Paul Janis, and he's developing these youngsters well. And this is why I tell you, it's okay. You know, you say we got no stars. I get it. But we have a lot of guys who are disciplined. We have a lot of guys who are coachable. We have a lot of guys who follow through. We have a lot of guys who just don't stop fighting. We have tons of guys who just don't quit, who just don't believe until the 27th out is recorded. And that is a superpower in itself. Belief in yourself and your team. That regardless, with 2 outs in the 9th, you still have a chance to win. But the development of these young guys has been a pleasant surprise. Why do you think they're bringing them all up? No, you got Kyle Teal, Edgar Caro, Tim Elko, Miguel Vargas. All these guys they're bringing up, Chase Mydroth. I mean, if I'm a minor leaguer, this is the top of the organization I want to be a part of because they're bringing people up. They're bringing people up, giving me a shot. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Jeremiah. Jerry. I wonder if he's going to want to have his name called Jerry. You're going to shorten his name to Jerry? Because just for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Huge. And his name is Jerry Seinfeld. But you know his real name is Jerome? In one of the episodes, when Seinfeld was slowly but surely taking over being my favorite show from Married with Children, now it's a 3-way thing. I think it's 2.5 men fighting it out for second place. Seinfeld, 2.5 men and Married with Children. 2.5 Men is just awesome. Charlie Sheen version, the Ashton. I was gonna say Ashton Kutcher. I don't like that. They brought in Charlie's long lost daughter that he had, who's gay, and it's like no, the Ashton Kutcher, no, only with Charlie Sheen. But anyway, listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, what we're going to do is we're going to finish up the top of the morning topics. All right? So do me a favor. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Then you get the righty in Suzuki.
Swing and a high fly ball drilled out towards right center field. That one is off the glove of the center fielder Churio. Into second is Tucker, and it's a double.
Using the other side of the field.
Lines one into the gap in right center field. That's going to roll. Nico's on the move. Nico racing towards third. They're going to send him. Porter to the plate. Shaw into second. It's an RBI double. Try to bunt. I think he would. One popped in the air. Shaw, and he makes the catch.
Really use that other strikeout right now.
High fly ball, left field, on its way, out of here.
Suzuki finally got a fastball inside, inner half. They've been pitching him away. This ball they wanted away, and it leaks in.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were the Cubs. North side today. A big 5-3 win over their division rival, Milwaukee Brew Crew, the Brewers. Yeah. I feel like AJ Pazitsky was on the radio yesterday, and he was saying they had doing some cruise thing for some White Sox in the 20th anniversary for the the 05 season. And so they asked him about, are the Cubs for real? And he's like, oh, yeah, they're for real. He goes, they got a great – he goes, the only issue is they're in the National League. Because you got the Dodgers, you got the Padres, you got the Phillies, you got a lot of teams. He goes, but they're for real. And he was going on and talking about it. He said, you guys know how difficult it is for me to say something nice about that organization, about the Cubs. I love AJ. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. But even AJ believes they're real. That's a guy who knows baseball. Former player, former catcher, World Series champion, former All-Star. You guys are sitting pretty, I'm telling you. And all you need is that big trade by the trade deadline. Chris Sale, telling you. How ironic would it be if you guys trade for Chris Sale, former White Sox, and he comes and helps you win a World Series? First of all, I'd never hear the end of it. I think I would unfriend all of my Cub fan friends. That you win two Super Bowls, 2 World Series, your second World Series before we win ours. I think I would have to literally stop talking to every single Cub fan friend. That'd be a lot of people. A lot of my family, which I'm okay with. Bump them. A lot of my friends, because you would be unbearable. You'd be as unbearable as we were from 05 to 16, right? Right, Rick? Right, Rick? Rick says, I love that you look disgusted when you talk Cubs. Hey, I give a fair analysis, though. It may hurt and bother every fiber of my being, but I give a fair analysis. I give an impartial analysis. Okay? Patty's like, right? Right, Rick? Oh, man. That 11 years was good, Papa. He says, yeah, Shawn. Hell yeah, Shawn. It was good. A good ride from 2005 to 2005 to 2016. It sure was. It sure was. But keeping it moving. The next top of the morning, top the sky. While I kiss the sky. Man, the Sky had this one, man. Sky had this one, and they should have won, and they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Out to the DC Mystics, 78-66. I know that's another one. Candace don't play for the Sky no more, Steve-O. 78-66. And they had a lead. They were up 15, 16 points, 17 points at one point. My man, King Book of World, if he's in, I don't know if he's in. I didn't see him checking in. But his future ex-wife, Camila Cardoso, she had a double-double, 18 points. She led the Sky with 18 points, 10 rebounds. My girl, Angel Reese, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Ariel Atkins, 10 points, 7 assists. You know, they can't continue to do this. Sky aren't a very good, very well-constructed team to begin with. All right, they're not a very well-constructed team to begin with. So when you have somebody down, they cannot afford to let them off the hook. Let them up off the mat. You can't. Haley Van Lith did not play. Oh, she did. I'm sorry. She didn't start. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. She's got to do better, but she's a rookie. And Vandersloot was to be her mentor before she went out. And that's going to hurt her development. Those were the only 3 Sky players in double digits. Reese, Cardoso 18, Reese 17, Ariel Atkins 10. Next was Rebecca Allen, who had 7 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. We're just not very good. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Keeping it moving, the next top of the morning topic. Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tomorrow in Indy. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on ABC. Oklahoma City is 1 win away from their first NBA title. They lead the series 3-2. And let me tell you something. They are a really, really good basketball team. And they are going to be here for a minute. Okay? They are going to be here for a minute. They have a slew of draft picks for the next couple of years. And you win the NBA title and still have this slew of draft picks. Wow. Wow. They're in a good spot. They're in a really, really good spot. And unfortunately, a lot of people here, you know what? Because I looked at this earlier. NBA Finals Game 5? Game 5 ratings. Wow. So Monday's Pacer Thunder NBA Finals Game 5 average a series high 9.54 million seed. It's down 22% from last year's Mavericks Celtics clincher, and the least watched Game 5 of the finals since the Heat Lakers in the fall of 2020 bubble. Wow. Just not a lot of interest in those small markets. And again, people are missing out on good basketball. Great young stars. Great young stars, new face of the league, or people you think are trying to be the new face of the league. There goes the warden up to CrossFit. Okay, Cornelius. Cornelius says, I'm excited to see a new dynasty like OKC. I was tired of the Lakers, Warriors, and Boston. I wasn't tired of the Warriors. Definitely not. Because Steph's so likable. Draymond Green's a jagbag. But Steph was so likable. Clay was likable. Kerr's likable. Sean Livingston's, Andre Iguodala. All those guys, except Draymond. Draymond rubs you the wrong way. And you love the hell out of Draymond if he was on your team. He wasn't on my team, so I didn't love him. But it's going to be interesting. There's a big caveat. So Tyrese Halliburton strained his knee, his quad. Is it knee sprain? Sprained his knee. They're going to take an MRI to see the damage. All right. If he's out, game over. Bring the fat lady out. It's over. They've got no shot. And we had a discussion Saturday when I produced the Smoke Fellas podcast from 11 to 1. We had this discussion about Tyrese Halliburton. Is he a superstar, a star, or neither? I say he's a star on the verge of trying to be a superstar. Ben doesn't even see him as a star. And Tyrese Halliburton's performance in Game 5 gave a whole bunch of ammunition to Ben. A whole bunch Was his knee or his calf? That was his knee. Over an injury, yes. Calf strain. Knee sprain. Calf strain, yes. Thank you, sir. So, if you're a star, you don't go over from the field in the finals. You don't go over. He ended up with 4 points, 4 free throws. You cannot go over if you're a star. I like Tyrese Halliburton. But you can't go over from the field if you're a star. That bugged me. Like, listen, man. The hell with giving everyone else involved. If you do that, that's the first quarter. Second quarter or end of the first quarter, the second quarter, turning it on. And I get it. OKC's got the best defense in the NBA. Guess what? You're in the finals. They got there for a reason. You're going to have to, if you're a star, it doesn't matter what they do to you. Doesn't matter how they double team you or send different guys at you to guard you. It doesn't matter. You find ways to score. That's bothersome to me. Because I had him as a star. I didn't have him as a superstar. I had him as a star. Like, people go see Tyrese Halliburton. He's who I think of when I think of the Pacers. I think Pascal Siakam's their best player. But I think Halliburton's the star of the team. And you go over from the field. Come on, Papa. I mean, you let every single person in the world who watches basketball have ammunition. And you can't be like, oh, well, we had those games. Not in the finals. You can't have those games in the finals. You can't have that game in the most pivotal game of the series. Well, the second most pivotal game. The first most pivotal game was game 4. The first most pivotal game was game 4. You're up 2-1. You won game 1. You lost game 2. You won game 3 at home. If you're able to win game 4, you go up 3 games to 1. That was the most pivotal game. But they tied it. So now it's a best of 3 with 2 games OKC if necessary. So whoever's going to get this win, whoever wins game 5 is 1 step closer. Got 2 shots at it. And you were going home. You would be going home to try and close it out at home. And you have no points from the field, 4 free throws? That just can't be. That just can't be. You've had game-winning shot, tough shots this playoffs, and then you don't show up. And I know you might have the calf strain. Damn, you got to get it. You got to perform. This is the finals. This is where your legacy is created. Right here. The biggest stage, the best, the people who are revered the most get it done in the finals. We can talk all this shit about LeBron. He's got it done in the finals. And he may have more finals losses than wins, but he's got 4 finals wins. 3 if you don't want to count the bubble. But this is where it is. The biggest stage, the biggest stars step up. What does Stacey say? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And Tyrese Halliburton didn't do that. You needed, that was, man, game 4 was pivotal. Most people, myself included, said you lost the series in game 4. You lost it in game 4. So I don't know how he's going to one, if he's going to play, two, how effective he's going to be. But damn, Don, don't lose on your own court. Make it go 7. Make the NBA happy. Make the NBA happy. They get 7 games. More commercials, more revenue. Because, you know, they need it. They got to keep paying for the WNBA. Make it go 7. I'll tell you what, if it goes 7, that'll be a very, very, very highly watched game. That'll probably blow the other 6 games out of the water. But I can't, that's unacceptable to have 0 field goals in the finals game, game 5, the second most pivotal game. Well, the most pivotal after game 4. Nothing from the field. But you want to be a star. You want to be the face, one of the faces of the league. Can't do it. Can't do it. You know, the WNBA is in season right. They're going right now. And Caitlin Clark is in the middle of something else again. Your thoughts on this? Let's watch.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it. Look at Mabry. She's got a scar on one side, a scratch on one side of her face, a scratch on the other side. It's not from the game today. I asked her about it. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here. There's a scrape across the face. That's what Clark didn't like. And then Mabry came in with a bump.
And Mabry's day is almost assuredly going to be done. But both teams.
That clip courtesy of the WNBA. So, here's my thing. I don't mind the chippiness. Okay. Rick said she's just a Ric Flair fan, so she gave Clark the old thumb to the eye. No blood, no foul. I don't have a problem with that. Here's why. Well, one, she hit her in the eye. If I'm a player, if I'm playing basketball and you poke me in the eye, I'm pissed. You saw Caitlin was pissed. She had every right to be. Then she shoved her. She wasn't an aggressor. She shoved her because she was mad. Not like she shoved her like she was about to do something, but she shoved her. It was like, damn, my eye. And then Marina Mabry comes over and knocks her over. That was some bullshit. That's grounds for that's like hockey. 3rd man in. Penalty box, you're ejected. 5-minute major, you're out. I'm okay with it. Coming to the defense of your team. Just don't start throwing blows. Okay? Because then you'll be like the men, and you don't want that type of stigma attached to the WNBA. They've been doing everything in their power for the last few years to make it more feminine, more attractive. They have girls come, basically a fashion show to the game, to the arena. They have you, they have you videotaped. They put it all over social media when you're arriving to the game in the tunnels. Soften up that image. You start fighting. There's a problem. And it sucks because I'd be mad too. I'd be mad too. And I might have pushed the dude too. Like, damn, dude, what the fuck? You know? Because you don't understand how, like, that's Jon Scheyer. If you don't know the Jon Scheyer story, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. Jon Scheyer was balling. A dude hit him in the eye. I think it's a detached retina. Legally blind. Couldn't play basketball again, which is why he became a coach. Which is why he's the coach of Duke. Trust me, he's doing well for himself now. Trust me. But what I guarantee, if you asked him, would he have loved to have played basketball? Instead, I guarantee you he would have loved it. He would have rather done that than coach. Maybe later, coach. But you do some shit like that. Like, I think that was bullshit. What is your hand doing up by her face anyway? She wasn't dribbling like this. I think people take shots at Caitlin because they're jealous. Caitlin, excuse me, not Caitlin. And I don't know why people are jealous. That's your cash cow. That's the golden rooster. You're going to be getting paid a lot more money because of her. And I'm not saying don't compete against her. I'm not saying that at all. Be physical with her. Play basketball. It's a game. But don't do no dirty shit like that, man. Like, why is your hand up by her face? This lady's selling out NBA arenas, not even WNBA, NBA arenas. Going to get you guys a contract, going to get you a TV contract, a massive TV deal. And you got chicks hating on her, taking cheap shots at her. Don't give me, it's an accident. What the hell's your hand by your face for? And I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. She's doing stuff that has not been done or seen since Steph Curry or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, better known as Chris Jackson, because he was Steph Curry way before Steph Curry was, for those youngsters who don't know. Go back and take a look at Chris Jackson out of LSU. She was doing that crazy type of shit. Coming across, you saw when she first came back, 32 points she dropped, beating the Liberty, the team that was undefeated at the time. The defending champs. She dropped 32. She dropped three logo shots. $27 feet minimum for those three shots. Splash, splash, splash. Like I said, I'm not saying don't compete. I'm not saying don't push her, don't challenge her. Don't take cheap shots, man. What if she loses her vision? What if she had lost her vision? You detached her retina or something. And I'm not saying she's the only star in the WNBA. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is she's the most popular. She's the most popular. I just thought that was kind of bullshit that you're reaching at her face when you're not dribbling by your face. Like, what are you reaching? If you're reaching for the ball's not by her face. And then Marina Mabry coming over, knocking her over when she's holding her eye and knocking her over. Her balance, she's closed. Her eyes are closed. Her balance is off. You just knock her over. I just got annoyed by that. I just got annoyed by it. If you couldn't tell. If you couldn't tell. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another break. And at the side of the break, we're going to talk a little Bears. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports. on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
To consider Paige Beckers, but outside of Paige Beckers, the two best rookies in this league, in my opinion, are on this Mystics team.
And Cardoso snags the rebound. Quick outlet. Reese calling for it. The drop off. Back to Reese. Oh, tic-tac-toe. They go. Kia Nurse was 4 of 4 on Sunday, picking up where she left off. On the perimeter here, going to make the decision to take Iriafin. Got fouled and won. I think she heard you, Ship. You can see she's directing traffic even off the ball, saying feed it down low. Allen almost thought about it in the perimeter there. Then Reese drives again and finishes again. We expected a competitive back and forth battle tonight between these two teams. Pretty pass to a pretty cut from Camila Cardoso.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those ones courtesy of the WNBA. Those were the girls last night. Ladies, man, tough loss by our girls. And man, it was a tough one. Like they had it. They were up 15 points, 17 points, and they lose 79-72. Ball moving, you see the cut. So that's what I'm seeing. Improvement there. You saw Camila Cardoso dive into the hole. You saw the passing. Apparently, they forgot to play defense. James Ford checking in. What's up, Bubba? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Good morning to you, too. But we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little Bears. I told you on this show, I told you that when Caleb came out and said, or whoever, might have been his dad, whatever was conveyed to the reporter that has that new book coming out. When Caleb said, or was said from Caleb, whether it was him directly or his dad, he didn't watch film. He had to watch film by himself. And everybody jumped on him. Now, listen, I am not defending Eberflus and a lot of the poor decisions he made last year as a head coach. Okay. I just don't want it to seem like he was incompetent. Because you make bad moves, okay, it happens. But for Caleb to go out there and say, I watched film by myself, which he clarified later. And said, I meant like I needed shortcuts. I needed this. Then you should have said I needed shortcuts. Because remember, I said that was a lie. I'm like, you mean to tell me Shane Waldron's not going to do his job? You mean to tell me he couldn't go up to Eberflus? He couldn't go up to Ryan Poles and say, I'm not watching film with anybody? And remember, I said, we're only hearing one side of the story. I said, I find it hard to believe that Caleb watched film by himself. I find it hard to believe. But and I also said, we're only hearing one side of the story. Do you remember that? I said, you're only hearing one side of the story. And I said, I find it doesn't sit, it does not right. I don't believe it. So he was on Ed Werder's podcast. Well, he, meaning Matt Eberflus, who's now the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He's on the podcast, and the question comes up. There it is. Sorry. And this is what he had to say.
And yet recently, Caleb Williams was quoted criticizing the fact that nobody watched film with him last year. You were the head coach. How do you respond to that?
Well, first and foremost, Hard Knocks, they do a great job. They really do. They stay out of the way.
Because they're going to be here this year.
They are. And I've been telling everybody, the whole staff up there, that they do a wonderful job. They stay out of the way, very professional. But back to your other question about, the film watching and all that, I would say this, that, in the development of the quarterback position and really all positions, at my time at the Bears, we've always had daily coached film sessions. That was out through the entire year. So that's what I've observed, and that's where it was.
So I told you. And trust me, you got a whole bunch of other people who don't know shit. And this is why I'm glad that I started this podcast and this platform, especially when it comes to football, because you had everybody else running with it and saying, oh, wow, Caleb said he didn't watch film. They're a dysfunction. There it is. Now, I'm not saying they weren't a dysfunction. Don't get me wrong. But don't try and make it worse than it was. And you had so many outlets. Big name outlets. Lettered outlets. Saying, oh, unbelievable. Well, see, this is this is that. This is horrible. This is this. I can't believe this, blah, 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 blah. And where were those people when Caleb came back and said, oh, well, I meant like a shortcut. How to teach me how to give me a shortcut into watching. There's no shortcut in watching films. There's no shortcut. You got to watch them. And I said I found it very difficult to believe that Shane Waldron, whether you like him or not, didn't watch film with him. I found it very difficult to believe. And I also said, why did he not have a problem with Geno Smith or Russell Wilson? Why was that not the problem? So here, Caleb lied. Oh, what happened was, right? What had happened was I meant, no, you know exactly what you meant. You know exactly how it would be taken by the media. When you said no one watched film with me, you knew exactly how it would be taken. And Coach Wanstead was on the radio yesterday, and he said, yeah, that's kind of a shot. They talked about Eberflus's response. He's like, yeah, he goes, that's like a shot by Caleb. Come on, Caleb. And there's no need to take a shot. There's no need to embellish or make someone look bad. Because if this is the type of person you are, I'm going to have a big problem with that type of stuff. You didn't have to like them. Then don't say, just say, hey, first of all, I don't even know why you wouldn't talk to a reporter, a guy doing a book. Because you know excerpts are going to come out of it. And this is the shit show that you created. So now you exaggerate the truth. And Eberflus looks pissed and frustrated. He's like, and there were coaches, coach-led film sessions every day. So don't start lying and being a little sneaky snake. Because that's going to take away from your potential as a person. Remember, everyone wants good people. They want good people in that building. He's a great character. Well, guess what? Your character just took a big hit. Your character just took a big hit. Because basically he called you a liar. Eberflus called you a liar. You don't have to like Eberflus. You can say he's the worst head coach in the history of head coaches. I'm not arguing that fact. I'm saying what Caleb said was out of bounds. That crossed the line. To lie about not having people watch film with you. And then when pressed about it, say, oh, well, what I meant was, don't give me that shit. You're a very smart young man. You've been on your own. You've been living in your own since you were in high school. You know the game. You know how that would be taken by the media, by our media and national media. So for you to try and go and shit on Matt Eberflus is kind of a dick move. You didn't have to like him. You didn't have to agree with him. You didn't have to. You couldn't just totally think he's incompetent. Go about your business. Go about your business. Say it was tough. Last year was whatever. There's difficult times for everyone involved, us, the coaching staff. Didn't end the way we wanted to end, blah, 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 blah. But for you to go out of your way to make up that bullshit and lie, that makes me question your character. That makes me question your character. And notice, none of all the people who love Caleb, no one's saying it. No one's calling him to the carpet about it. Because now you heard the other side of the story, and he calls you a liar. End of story, you lied, period. Because when you backtrack, what I meant was, what happened was, right? I meant I just looked for a shorter way, a shortcut. There's no shortcuts in watching film. You know damn well I was watching film in high school and college. But you had to say, oh, no one watched film with me. I had to watch film by myself. Character concerns are an issue for me now. To lie about your head coach like that. Listen, I hope you throw for 4,000 yards and you make us forget about all this bullshit. Right now, I don't know, man. There's something about it. Something about it. If you're going to lie on your head coach, you're a rookie. You're a rookie and you're lying on your head coach? What kind of character is that? Words of respect for him as a head coach. I get it. You may not have liked him, period. Don't lie about him. Don't lie on him. Don't do that. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But don't lie on somebody like that. Don't lie on people. If that was in the streets, if that was, how would you feel if somebody lied on you? As a man, as a woman, how would you feel if someone told a bold-faced lie and then when confronted, oh, well, what I meant was, now you knew exactly what the hell you're trying, what response you wanted and how you're trying to make me look. You knew exactly. Foster covers checking in. You're damn right, Foster. It's not a good look when people lie for absolutely no reason. So that bothers me, if you couldn't tell. That bugs me. Like I said, I hope you throw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. And make us forget all this stuff. And I hope you can I hope you conduct yourself in a more honorable way, Caleb. Because for you to lie and throw someone under the bus like that is unprofessional and childish and selfish. Because now what else is it? Rick, I can agree with you to a certain extent. He's a young kid. He will learn. He's a young kid who had to grow up really fast. When you're the number one, he's been on his own since high school. He lived in an apartment in his high school. He's different. He gets it. He knew what the response was going to be when this got out. He knew it. Like when we say things, we know the response. For the most part, we know the response we're going to get. Whenever we say something to a specific person, and he's saying it to a reporter who's doing a book. You better, one, I hope he does learn. I hope he Rick's like, just playing devil's advocate. Sorry, but I got fired up, man. Like, don't lie on people, man. Especially in sports. All right, the man did the best job he could. And no, it wasn't a great job. I get it. He made mistakes. I get it. But to lie on someone like that, come on, man. And don't try and sweep it under the rug, people, and say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Because if someone lied on you and said you weren't doing your job as a parent, what if they went to the media and said you weren't doing your job as a parent? Or they went to your job and says you weren't doing your job as a worker here? How pissed would you be? We'd be having a conversation after work. You'd be getting a 2-piece with a biscuit. Talking about that, you know what I mean? Again, you make bad decisions. He wasn't a good head coach at all. Great defensive coordinator, but wasn't a great head coach. Cool. Don't lie on him. Don't do that. That shows your character. And that bugs me. Fired up. I got fired up. King Booker World checking in. What's up, Papa? I'm going to leave none of them. Telling you, man. That Cornelius, stop it. He said Elias is the most trust. What did he lie about? He didn't lie about anything. All right, this was a bold-faced lie. Even if this is the most trustworthy guy, either because he never accepted response for his mistakes. That's not, I get it. That's not a good character thing either. But did he boldly go out and lie about somebody and what they did and their negligence in their dereliction of duties? No. Again, put it in flip it around. Cornelius, what if he said that you weren't doing your job as whatever you do? How would you feel? Whatever you do for work, and someone said, and you might be retired, but whatever you did for work, if someone said, hey, well, you didn't do, that guy Cornelius didn't really do this properly. I had to do this. How would you feel if someone lied about it? That's what I'm saying. And I don't see any trust. I mean, there's a guy who wants to evade the issue, but he was all, I don't know. He kind of just kept going on and on. He just didn't want to deal with that at the time. I'm talking about Eberflus. I know it would have been much easier if he said, you know what, I screwed up. And I think he did at one particular point because people got on him. And remember, he started saying, I made a mistake. I did this. There was one, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, where he started a lot saying, I messed up. I did this. Yeah, he did. Foster's, you're a fool, man. So the crap doing Popeyes for lunch now. Why? Because 2 pieces of biscuit. Roberto Ramirez checking in. Said, good morning. Happy hump day. Cubs are, come on, you. Stop with your nonsense, Roberto. You and Cornelius and Levette and Black Diamond. Stop with your craziness. Junior, I had to work on lying about me. It was resolved when I threw a catalytic converter at him. After that, the guy didn't talk shit. You know what, Junior? I can literally see you doing that. I can hear your voice yelling at him and then throwing the catalytic converter at him. Foster, you're a fool. He's like, Arnold, throw it at me. They just stole converter off my ex's wife in Harlem and Lawrence. Yeah, King Booker World, he did. He overcorrected big time. He took blame for everything. He took blame for the cafeteria cause. He did. Remember, it was everything. The clock didn't start on time. I apologize for that, and I got to do a better job of making sure that someone whose job I have no control over does their job better. It's my fault. He did. It was my fault for everything. The wind came off the lake. I apologize for that. That was my fault. I wish I wanted to come from the west and not the east. Easy there, Roberto. We're in a good place. We're having rough times. Remember, you guys lost what, 1 or 2 years of 100 losses in a row? All right, relax. Relax there, buddy. That's funny. That is funny. But speaking of my White Sox, no, you know, we're gonna stay with the Bears. We'll stay with the Bears. All right. I'm anxious to see. We talk about it a lot. Okay. We talk about what they have. We talk about all this that Caleb has now. All right. We got everything. And here's the one thing that I thought about yesterday. People said, myself included, we should have fired Eberflus before last season. How many of you agree with that? How many people think Eberflus should have been fired before the 2024 season? How many? Just put I do, whatever. Just put in the chat. How many of you guys think that Eberflus should have been fired before between the 23 and 24 season? After the 23 season, before the 24 season. How many people think he should have been fired? Just put it in the chat. King Book of World says, hey. And so you're one person. Junior, he's a second person. Roberto Ramirez, he's a third person. Okay. James Ford, you agree? You think he should have been fired between the 23 and 24 season, the off season? Shawn, yes. Cornelius, he should have been he should have been gone. Okay. So I think we have a consensus that he should have been fired. Now, here's why I tell you. That's funny. Foster Covers and Junior are, because you guys be like my stepbrothers. You got Foster knew the Cronins. That's funny. Here's why. Let's think of this. So you don't think anyone in the Bears organization was in contact with Ben Johnson's people. Because remember, Ben Johnson was supposed to come out last year. Everyone thought he was coming out he was going to be a head coach last year before the 24 season. And what happened? He said he's going to stay in Detroit as their offensive coordinator. What if they, one, knew that from his people, and two, knew he was going to be the head coach of the Bears? What if he said, hey, I want to be the head coach, but I got to stay one more year in Detroit because I got some unfinished business. I got to win this Super Bowl. After next year, whatever, I'm coming out. I'm going to leave Detroit to be a head coach, but I got an unfinished business. What were the Bears to do? You couldn't fire Eberflus, hire another guy, bring in a whole new staff, and then when Ben Johnson's available, fire that new guy. Fire a whole new staff who just moved to Chicago, and now they got to go find other jobs and another place to live. Who would have they hired? Who would have they hired? There were a lot of candidates out there. If so, would that hinder their chances to hire Johnson? No, I think they waited. I think they knew that Johnson was coming out this year or at the end of this year, this offseason, and were in the running for him. One, they wanted to be in the running for him. Because if you hire a head coach after 1 year, most teams don't. I know it happened once recently. Was it for the Browns or the Bucks? They fired their coach after one season. I think they wanted to coordinate the fact that when he was ready, they were ready to get rid of their head coach. So they did one more chance with Eberflus. Said, we'll keep you here. Because you could have seen that. If you're evaluating him, and I get it, you got to understand, he's a first-time head coach. Maybe you're not happy with him. It's like, if he doesn't make a big change, we can still fire him. Okay? We can Rick Renteria his ass. Yeah. I think that might have been a situation because it makes sense because most people thought he should have been gone to begin with. So the Bears said, okay, here's what we do. If he has a great increase, okay, good, we're on the right track. But if not, and if he doesn't have a great increase in wins in the cult, it's fire him saying we can say whatever we want to say because now Ben Johnson's available. I think that's my theory. That was Siri. Oh my goodness. That's my theory. Could be wrong. Foster, that's a great point as well. Foster says, I think that Poles and Johnson already knew he was coming to Chicago, and thus Poles convinced William to come here, telling him it'll change after your first year, and you can be the hero of Chicago. If that's the case, that's what he said. He had to convince him, and that was the convincing argument. Foster's, I can easily see that, and if that's the case, then guess what? Caleb Williams knew that Matt Eberflus was a lame duck head coach, which would make it easier for him to lie on him, in my opinion. So after all this craziness, now we got Ben Johnson with Caleb. So my question is this. The $1 million question. How soon can this offense start clicking? I told you, at the beginning of 2026, 1 year from this day, June 18th, probably won't have a show because it'll be a Thursday. What's next year? Next year, leap year? 26? No, it's 24. That'll be a Thursday. But next year at this time, I'll be fired up because Caleb's not learning a new offense. Rome, DJ, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet, offensive line. They're not learning new schemes. But my feet are going to be here in 2025. So how soon before this offense really starts clicking? Well, if Ben Johnson does a smart thing and he gives him a base, like we're going to run this, we're going to run short routes, hitches, slants, curls, hitches, slant, curls, quick outs, quick hit. And they get that short game down. Then he builds on that every week. I think by week 10, maybe sooner, but I think by week 10, this offense will have a very, very, very comfortable feel about itself. And I think the last 7 games will be a preview or the tip of the iceberg of what we'll see in 2026. That's my thought. That's my prediction. The last 7 games will be the tip of the iceberg. It's going to be a preview of what we're going to see in 2026. Maintaining that we're healthy. That's the biggest caveat, that we're healthy. I mean, Caleb has a really, really, really good year. I think you're going to see a lot of numbers. And the important thing about this is that you have receivers who are yak monsters. DJ Moore, excellent against man-to-man. Excellent yak. Rome Odunze led the NCAA in receiving yards his senior year, his last year at Washington. Luther Burden led the NCAA in yak in yards after catch last season. Your 3 receivers can run after the catch, big time. Cole Kmet's not bad either. Colston Loveland, another one, a wide receiver in a tight end's body. So I'm really anticipating Caleb to probably get close to 4,000 yards and the 30 touchdowns. I'm telling you, after week 10 or after the 10th game, I think we're going to see a lot of those big time. Let me see something. How many? I want to see how many. Look at the schedule real quick. So we'll get the last. Here we go. You know what? Let me put it up. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll put it up on the screen and we'll sorry, hopefully it isn't crazy. Put it up on the screen and we'll talk about this. Nope. I'll put this up and we're going to go through it. Perfect. So let's go through this. This is 2025. So the last 7 games: Detroit, Frisco, Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, Philly, Pittsburgh. Okay. So wait. So the home against Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what the weather's going to be like there. On the road at Philly, we should be all right. I don't know. We're home against Green Bay. I'm sorry. We're on the road against Philly and Green Bay. What the weather's going to be like there, I don't know. We're home against Cleveland and Green Bay. Don't know what the weather's going to be like at that point. Away at San Francisco, I don't think it'll be that. The weather shouldn't be an issue at San Francisco. And then home against Detroit. All right, so San Francisco, we should have good weather. Green Bay and Cleveland, I don't know. We're at home. Green Bay are on the road. I don't know. Philadelphia. We're looking at right after Thanksgiving. I don't know. I would have loved an indoor team. Like if we would have played the Lions and the Vikings later. You know what I mean? If we would have played the Lions and Vikings later, we would have had them in Minnesota late. We'd get a really, really good idea with this offense. We'd get a great idea with this offense in ideal conditions. But I'm saying, look at this from the Pittsburgh game on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the Pittsburgh game on, maybe even the Minnesota game on November 16th. On November 23rd, from that point on, I think this offense is going to really show you, give you a preview of what they're going to be the next season in 2026. I think they will. And that is going to be dope. That's going to be really, really, really dope. See this team. Caleb will have a much better grasp of it, as will the wide receiver, as will the entire offense. The receivers, the offensive line will have that continuity. Obviously, the left tackle position will be solved. That situation will be solved. Again, and this is all people stay healthy, and that's a big if. The NFL. Yes, they play in the Mercedes Dome. Do the Saints play in the Dome? Yes, they do, King Booker World. We have them. Yeah, but they're coming here. They're coming here. Yeah. But that's going to be a situation that I'm anxious to see. I'm looking forward to that. You know, that left tackle situation is one that is interesting because of this. I was on Nomad Show the other day, or last week, and we were talking, Sunday, and one of the things he said is about Braxton. Yes, Foster, they will become a dome team. Yeah, King Booker World said, damn, they really jagged them with the home away dynamic with this schedule. Yeah, they did. They did. The thing about this left tackle decision, thank you, Roberto. You actually brought me back on track. They got to make a decision on the left tackle. We were talking, and here's the issue. If Braxton Jones wins the contest, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Here's why. Because Kieran Amagaji what was he, a second round pick? Or third? Kieran Amagaji. I want images. Oh. He's third round pick. So you got a third round pick and a second round pick in Ozzie Trapillo. Thank you, Rick. Third. Roberto, thank you. Third round pick. Does that mean you whiffed on those second and third round picks? If Braxton continues to, if he wins that job, now mind you, Braxton's got a huge advantage. He's played in the NFL. He started in the NFL for 3 years. He's up to speed. Except the fact he's coming off injury. Except the fact that he didn't get a complete offseason in with strength training. He was rehabbing. Big difference. So in my mind, I hope Ozzy Trapillo wins it. Because you're going to have to pay Braxton Jones at the end of the year. You're going to have to pay Jones at the end of the year. We talked about Charles J. Leno. He got a big deal. And he was, the human turnstile. Here. Rick, Cornelius, we're on the same page. Good thing because of the depth it creates. Yes. If Jones is our swing tackle, that bodes well for us. Yes, it does. I would like Ozzy to win that spot. And here's the thing. I wonder what the Bears are going to do if Ozzy wins that spot. What are you going to do? Can you trade him in the middle of the season? I don't know if that's going to work. And he's a free agent at the end of the season. Is he going to? Let me see something. Is he going to be a restricted free agent? Yeah, he's a free agent. Yep. He's entering the final year of his rookie deal and will be a free agent in 2026. So, good question. What do you do with him? Do you extend him? Do you extend him and then trade him? Because he's going to get a lot of money in the off season on the market. He's going to get a lot of money because you get a proven left tackle. Now he's not a Pro Bowler. He's solid. He's not a Pro Bowler. He's solid. So if you need a guy that's solid, if you just have trash at the left tackle position, and you need an upgrade, this guy's solid. Foster, you can find a partner in training camp. Cool. He's a starting left tackle in the NFL. An above average left tackle. That is worth millions. And millions. I would love for them to play Ozzy. I'd love for him and Kieran to battle it out. Ozzy win. Kieran, you're the swing tackle. But that's going to be important. Because the one thing that I'm excited about that in watching his tape, and the thing that Ryan Poles said, which really got me excited, Nomad mentioned it. He said when you watch Ozzy Trapillo's tape, he said it's a boring tape. It's a boring tape. What that means is that he's not exciting. He's not a guy who brings drama. Okay? Like he's not getting beat every few plays. That brings drama. That brings suspense. That brings anxiety. When he locks on, you're like, oh, okay. Oh, he got him. He tried to spin move. He got him. He tried to rip move. He got him. He tried to push pull. He got him. Okay, good. All right, good job. Next play. Got him. You just watched film, and he just handles his dude. Maybe not overpowers. Maybe he does. But it's very boring. He handles everything, and it looks effortless. When guys go there to move, then their counter move, then their counter move, and he still has that's a boring tape. You want boring for your left tackle. A guy who can handle everything. Rip, push, pull. Foster, you ain't freaking lying, bro. You've had enough drama with the Bears. I can handle some boredom on the O-line. You're damn right. You're damn right. The boredom where Caleb can actually be flat-footed at times, wait for routes to develop, and fire it in there. I'm telling you, I can't wait for that type of situation to happen, where he's waiting, he's flat-footed, because he's got time, because his offensive line is a wall, a fortress. And then he fires it over the middle of DJ with a deep end, or Rome with a deep end, or he goes deep to Luther Burden on a corner route. And that's a good combo, Rick. You said Ozzie and Tooney on the left side is going to be nasty. Now you got a rookie going up against a two-time Super Bowl champion. I'm sorry, not going up against. Lining up next to a two-time Super Bowl champion. Think of the knowledge that and the tidbits that Joe Tooney can pass on to Ozzie. Remember, I've told you, and it comes around. I don't make shit up and say dumb shit and pull shit out of my ass. The best coaching you can get whenever you step up a level is your first year. Or the most vital coaching you get as you step up a level is your first year. To get good coaching from the coach and from Joe Tooney next to you, a two-time Super Bowl winner who's worked with Tom Brady, blocked for Tom Brady, and block for Patrick Mahomes, the type of information that Ozzie can get from him is priceless. That's the kind of coaching and mentorship you need, which will make Ozzie a great left tackle. Ozzie could be vying for the Pro Bowl in his second or third season, which would be amazing for the Bears. Cornelius Squall says, I want Caleb in a rocking chair every pass play. No, I want some quick passes, but I get your point. I want him to be chill. I want him to be chill back there, knowing that he's got time. He'll have 5 or 6 seconds back there. Most times. On regular pass plays, he'll have 5 or 6, maybe 7 seconds because his offensive line. Remember Tom Brady? You remember when he was with the Patriots, especially when he was with Tampa? That dude was flat-footed all the time. He dropped back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. Boom, fire. Flat-footed because he wasn't afraid. He knew his offensive line had the defensive front handled. And I believe if this is what they do, if they can get that situation with Caleb, this year is going to be very, very special. Again, I don't think Super Bowl. That's what I mean, King Booker World. He says Tom Brady wasn't even bouncing behind that line. Exactly. He wasn't even bouncing. He wasn't even on his toes. He was flat-footed. That's how comfortable you have to be in your offensive line when you're flat-footed. Like I said, I think the Bears' ceiling this year would be the NFC title game. The ceiling. That's stretching it. I'd say maybe the wild card division would probably be more realistic, but you never know. Quarterback goes down, defensive guy goes down, offensive lineman goes down, a key player goes down on a team that they're playing in the playoffs, you can advance. All right. And this is where we're planning. This is a plan. This is the plan. This is the plan that the Bears had for Caleb. Shore up the offensive line. Give this quarterback ample time to throw. Ample time to hit his receivers. Deep routes, intermediate routes, short routes. Matter. This is the way a football team should be built. Should have been built like this. But we're here now. got a stud right tackle. You've got great middle three. You just drafted a rookie in the second round after drafting a tackle the previous year from the third round to cover up for in the succession plan to take the place of the guy that you drafted in the fifth round. Was it fifth or seventh for Braxton Jones? Whatever, it was late. This offensive line is going to be much better, which means this run game is going to be great. If you thought DeAndre Swift was good last year, and I did, think of what happens when you're going to get good offensive line play, which is going to open everything up. So we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot right now. The left tackle situation just got to be figured out. I think the best way in a perfect world would be to have Ozzie win it. And if you want to trade, I hear you. Someone's going to need a left tackle. King Booker World, you're right. That's my thought too. So the run game is going to be the surprise of the year. Watch. I could not agree more. Rick Gonzalez is glad you said that Shawn Swift is a good player. I agree. He proved me wrong. I didn't think he was going to be as effective last year as he was. Made me eat my words. And then Kyle Monangai, I'm telling you, this guy, watching his tape, he's Ashton Genty without the speed. Without breakaway speed. He's got speed, just not breakaway speed. This guy can run between the tackles, great contact balance. Has not fumbled in his entire college career. The Big Ten in rushing last year. He led the Big Ten in rushing the year prior. This guy's gonna come into play, and we've seen his highlights, how he passed pro, so he's not gonna have an issue getting his face up in there. So he's gonna be on the field. He's going to be on the field, and the more the defenses have a problem with the run, I'm telling you, listen. I don't care if Caleb throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Yeah, he should. But you give me a guy, I'll take the Jalen Hurts stat, 3,400 yards, and we go deep in the playoffs and win Super Bowls. I'll take that. I'll take that. Because that's the most important thing. Now, if he gets 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and we win a Super Bowl, even better. But I'm not worried about that stat. I'm worried about him. I'm not worried about him being comfortable, him leading this team. And part of the way to lead the team is you turn around and hand the ball to a good running back. Yeah, I think he had 2,600 yards. King Booker World, Jalen Hurts. Let's see. $29. 2,903 yards, 18 touchdowns for Jalen Hurts last year. And guess what? Won a Super Bowl. I'll take it. I think Caleb has more weapons and can do more. But I'd take that. Foster covers. Like Al Davis said, just win, baby, win. Tell him, King Booker World, Hurts' best stat, Super Bowl winner. And that's the thing we need to focus on. That's the stat we need. How was he in Super Bowls? How is Caleb going to be in Super Bowls? With an S, Super Bowls. What's Caleb's record going to be in Super Bowls? That's what I want to know. I want to see Caleb's record in Super Bowls. I want him to have a winning record in Super Bowls. And I think this team is built perfectly for that. I think we'll see how they Obey Odebango is. Austin Booker. I need a big game. I need a big season from him. He's kind of been, I don't know, maybe lost a little bit. I don't know. I would like to get more production from Austin Booker. I would. Which will help out our defense greatly. But listen, guys, 2 hours is come and gone. What a phenomenal show. Man, you guys are awesome. Chat, you got me fired up. Great comments, great questions, great debate in the chat. I love it. You are a damn fool, King Booker World. He said, when we win the Super Bowl, letting y'all know now, I'm getting arrested for butt naked running through the street. Hey, is that for the first one or the second one? Which one? Or both? Oh, man. Listen, guys, you have a phenomenal day. We're going to replay this at 6 tonight. Okay. I appreciate my sports owners. I love and appreciate the support you guys give me. Like I tell you all the time, let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. Guys, the weather's going to be beautiful here. All right, the next couple of days. The rain's over, I believe. Make plans, lunch, brunch, dinner, happy hour, drinks, something with your people. Okay? Do that. Tomorrow I'm probably going to head to Summerfest. I might be doing the show from a hotel room in Wisconsin, or if I come back tomorrow night, I'll be here. I'll be able to do the show on Friday from here. But, guys, you have a phenomenal day. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Again, thank you, my sports owners. I love you and I appreciate the support. It's on Friday. Foster says, I'm going to Popeyes early. Make sure you put honey on that biscuit too, Papa. Guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn. I am out.
Come on, place the bass, get